discuss, to share best practices, and to build and increase their capacity for networking and advocacy against drug menace, to plan strategies, and to move forward together. On the first day, that was on the 25th, His Excellency, the Governor of Kerala, Sri Arif Mohammed Khan, formally inaugurated this conference. Those of you who were here for that inaugural function, you remember the warmth with which the governor welcomed us all and pledged his support, his wholehearted encouragement for this endeavor. And during the past 2 days and today, we had so many very beautiful discussions, inputs, panel sessions on a variety of aspects on countering the drug menace. And this very beautiful conference has been organized mainly by World Federation Against Drugs, WFAD, and we have Mr. Esbjørn Hornberg here. He's the international president of WFAD. And Mr. Hornberg, he previously served as an executive director of IOGT International and as the chairperson of the Vienna NGO Committee on Drugs. He was also the chair of Civil Society Task Force on Drugs. He was Secretary General and Senior Advisor of International Institute of IOGT NTO Movement. But before working with these, he spent 17 years as a civil servant in the sectors of education, social welfare, and community administration. I take this opportunity to welcome Esbjørn Hornberg to this valedictory function. Welcome, sir. And we are indeed honored by the presence of Haibi Eden, Member of Parliament from Ernakulam. He's been a very good friend of mine. And he was elected as a Member of Parliament from Ernakulam Lok Sabha constituency by a margin of over 1.6 lakhs votes. It's a very big majority. For your information, I contested from this constituency 15 years back and failed against my opponent. Unfortunately. Haibi was just behind me, was a small young man. And today we have the glorious winner of same party, but he is the winner, and he serves in the parliament. And he was the member of the Legislative Assembly, MLA, of Kerala from Ernakulam constituency from 2011 to 2019, to long terms. And presently, we are looking forward to another election very soon. So he is very busy with the initial preparations. The candidate is not formally announced. It's a most hectic time for him, but he found time to be here. And he was a General Secretary of Kerala Students' Union. And then he became the State Committee President of Kerala Students' Union. And he was also the ex-president of National Students' Union of India. He has been a very active youngster working in politics, doing a lot of wonderful creative initiatives, and now he is the Member of Parliament. With the permission of everyone here, I formally welcome Mr. Haibi Eden to this valedictory function. And we have Mr. Dinesh Roy, General Manager, 4 Point Sheraton. He's the host partner. We thank Mr. Dinesh for the wonderful hospitality. I was already telling him the wonderful hospitality and all the help extended to this conference. And we thank you for taking special interest in hosting it here. Thank you for responding to all our requests promptly and for gracefully attending to our guests from across so many countries during the last 3 days. While I thank him, I welcome him to this valedictory function. We have Mr. Anil Kumar, the Senior Vice President and Zonal Head of Federal Bank of India. And the Federal Bank has been the funding partner for this big conference. And he spoke to us during the inaugural function. And I welcome him to this valedictory function. And we also have with us Billy Bachware. He was already speaking to us in a couple of sessions. He is from the United Nations Office of Drug and Crime. And he gave us very beautiful inputs, I think almost 3 or 4 inputs on the wonderful work that his organization is doing. And we are glad that you are here with us. I welcome you formally to this valedictory function. And we have 3 of our young friends in the audience. Later I will invite them to speak. The Project Venda conducted a Save SAFE Idea Note contest this month as part of organizing this Asian Regional Forum Against Drugs, where youth from across Kerala were invited to share their ideas on their role in creating substance abuse-free environment, SAFE. We believe this would be one of the most enduring legacy of this conference, wherein youth have been given the agency and power to deliberate, to conceive and share their ideas on creating SAFE, substance abuse-free environment. May I proudly present Mr. Abhimon Joseph from Oriental School of Hotel Management. Maybe you can just stand up. Wayanad. And Umayesh Nair from Government Law College, Thrissur. And Mr. Majid P. from MES Arts and Science College, Perinthal. Later, each of them will share with us their own ideas and experiences very briefly. So welcome to the conference. Now, finally, we have Mr. C.C. Joseph, Director, Fourth Way Foundation, Project Venda. He's one of the directors of Fourth Way Foundation. And he has more than 14 years of experience in creating and implementing professional, educational, and social initiatives for national and international organizations. He's an expert in designing customized training programs, and he has a great ability in identifying and motivating and bringing out the best in young people. And he has traveled across the world, getting himself exposed to a variety of cultures, communities, and initiatives. And he's been a very powerful driving force behind Project Venda. Welcome, C.C. Joseph, to this conference. Finally, we have a star-studded audience here. You all have been here. You all have been. I was here during the past 3 days. This has been a very fruitful conference. So many beautiful inputs were given from a variety of backgrounds, from different countries. You've been sharing your rich experience in countering this very serious menace. And we at Venda, we are so very much concerned about the safety of children against the menace of drugs. We've been receiving a lot of very beautiful ideas, inputs, and fuel to go forward. Thank you all very much. And today we had a good bunch of students from across the state. You too have been participating, sharing, and we are sure you will continue to collaborate with Project Venda in continuing this beautiful work. Today, as you are all here, I formally welcome you all to this valedictory function. Thank you very much. And I take this opportunity to invite Esbjørn Hornberg, the International President of World Federation Against Drugs, to give out his closing remarks. Welcome, sir.
Dear friends, I'd like to echo what the previous speaker said when it comes to how amazing these 3 days have been. I have made some notes during the sessions which I would like to just talk about. First of all, I think that Billy was the one who said that drug policy is a very complex issue, for sure. Drug policy is not always about drugs. For governments, drug policy is also included into regional politics, regional fighting. It's included into domestic issues in a way that they would like to have voters when they come up with new drug policies. They are looking for new groups and so on. It's also, when it comes to drug policy or drugs as well, they are financing the crimes, they are financing terrorism. They need to have safe havens somewhere where they can produce, where they can transit, where they can earn money to continue a devastating work. When it comes to money, we must know that when we are talking of prevention, on the other hand, we had big pharma, the pharmaceutical industries. They are distributing billions of prescribed drugs without thinking of the consequences. We have big marijuana. We have been talking about that. It's going over all over. They are joining hands with big tobacco, with big alcohol. I call them big because that's in global industries, the global brands. They are joining hands when it comes to this. And if someone is losing a little bit market, then they try to push the other one. And we also have the investors, those invisible investors today, more or less, all over the globe, who can see that there is money to earn without thinking of the consequences. They are also trying to change our minds. They are trying to change the minds of the media. And they get easily, we have heard this today about the media situation. They are very, very effective, and they can easily target different groups. They are changing the minds of the politicians. They are telling them that this is a very good revenue to have a new drug coming into they can see how much the consumption will increase. They are changing the minds of the youth, and they are changing the minds of the parents. They have very short or concrete evidence, let's say evidence. They have a message which I usually borrow a message from another campaign. It was, leave, take control. There was one side telling this, leave, take control. The other side wanted to say, what's going to happen if we are leaving? What's going to happen when we are taking control? What kind of control? But you understand that the sentence, leave, take control, appealed to so many people. And that's the same when it comes to illegal drugs. They have very short sentences going right down. This is good for you. This is healthy for you. This is better than alcohol. This is what the future is. And then we need to come up with the evidence. We need to come up with a concrete situation. And it's up to you. And you have this hard work in front of you. But I believe that you can do it. We have also discussed decriminalization and legalization. What is the difference about it? This week, in the beginning of this week, I had a report from Colorado in USA, where they have legalized marijuana. And they say that their increase of consumption with the legalization has not been that high, because the increase came with the decriminalization. At that time, new groups came into the market, and they are still there. So this is not a silver bullet. I just want to say that. You need to look into the culture, you need to look into people, how this country or different countries you are coming from, what is the conditions for you? When it comes to prisoners, we are talking about how many people with petty crimes, with small amounts of cannabis or so on, are crowding the prisoners. Well, there was a report from the US telling about this, that the connection between also the people sitting for criminal offenses when it comes to drugs, they had committed a number of other crimes as well during the series. But you must also understand that we have a system in different countries around the world where you have private prisoners. And if you have a private prison, you would like to have it full. And you would like to have it full with people that are easy to work with. And you need to have the workforce. So that's why it's so easy also, and so hard for other ones to conquer that and say that we should do something else. We have been talking about Portugal. Portugal is seen as a good example. Portugal is a silver bullet, they say. But I must warn you, because Portugal did what they did in a special situation in the country's history, with a good economy where they could put money into healthcare, social justice and social welfare. And people in Portugal supported that. If you are coming to a country where you are lacking the health system, where you are lacking the social infrastructure, and people are not willing to say that, take my place for this, because you have conquered. You are competing about the seat or the beds in the hospitals. So, beware of this. The good things during those days has been that we all agreed upon the prevalence, to keep the prevalence low. In Kerala, we have heard what's happening. We need to do something to keep it back. And that's prevention, more or less. But don't forget the rehabilitation and recovery, because we cannot just do one side. We need to do the same. And in this long road from prevention to recovery, there is also harm reduction inside that, and harm reduction in different cultural settings and so on. But harm reduction is not the end. It's not the solution. It's just one part from prevention to recovery. Before ending, I would like also to say that this conference, this forum, has been so successful. And with planning that, we have had also the opportunity to plan another event. The Asia Pacific Forum Against Drugs, which will be held together with Arfad, which is the National Council Against Drug Abuse in Singapore. They have a task force, and together with WFAD, we will have a 2 days workshop or forum in Singapore in the beginning of November, 7 to 8 of November. And those of you who are interested and know that you keep people around you, please give them the possibility to apply for that. And then I would like to say thank you from the WFAD side. We have been sitting in Sweden, Regina and I, and some other people as well. And we have been communicated with Kerala. We have seen each other on the screen. We have been talking telephones, and we have millions of WhatsApp messages, I must say. And I'm so grateful. And I had never hesitated to say that they will make it. No. From the beginning, I could feel such a trust in this organization. And the 3 days here has convinced me even more that if you have more of Project Venda or Fourth Wave Foundation in this small country of India, then you will be very happy and successful. I would also like to thank other organizations and speakers and moderators, but most of all, I would like to thank you who has attended this, because without you, well, then we have been talking on the screen again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Esbjörn, for the very warm and wonderful words, and also for your wonderful presence here during the conference, and that has been a great encouragement to all of us. Now may I invite our chief guest, Haiby Eden, for the valedictory address. Haiby Eden.
Distinguished guests on the dais, off the dais, friends from different organizations representing many different countries as well. It's a great honor for me to be here. There are friends from many different states and countries. And you would all be wondering why a politician would be speaking to you on this particular subject. Even I wonder when I sit on certain stages, why me? And that is the beauty of democracy in our country, unfortunately. I've been asked this question by many different people. Once a young girl asked me, "Uncle, what exactly do you do?" Because I've seen you attending 3 funerals in my family and most of the marriages in my family. So is this the basic job of a people's representative? So I was an MLA then. So I said, "No, Baba, I make laws for the state. I'm a lawmaker. And now I make laws for the country." So we are people who try to be a part of the lawmaking process, try to make sure that our interventions are for a healthier and a better country. I don't know, the distinguished guests on the dais would be by now understanding what Kerala is, and I'm very sure that our Malayali friends would have taught you at least some point of Malayalam by now. And Venda itself is a huge campaign, which a very vital word you've learned by now. In Kerala, we have this, especially in India, we have this very special media who would talk on everything under the sky, right from we politicians get invited to all the channels at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock in the evenings. And they say, "Today you're going to speak on the Indian nuclear deal between India and America." And next day, they will say that you're going to speaking on the Indian Premier League, which is the cricket tournaments which happen in the country. So my friends and colleagues, most of them go to speak on all the different subjects. What I'm trying to say and tell you is, The panel of experts who have been speaking for the last 2 days are people who have been subject experts on different policies and who have been working in this organization, in this arena for a very long time. And I don't think I am the right person who should be speaking to you in this valedictory session. But in the past couple of years, for the last 8 years, being a representative in the state as an MLA, member of the Legislative Assembly, I've understood what exactly the youngsters of this country face, and I've always been trying to get involved. Apart from the work, regular work I do, there are reach out programs of mine where I've made sure that this is one of the very vital campaigns which we should take forward. I'm very happy to say that the first session in my parliament, as a member of the parliament, when I attended my first session, the speech I made was on the Youth Welfare and Sports Department. And I'm happy to say that I made a very special mention to amend the NDPS Act of this country. Because this is one of the vital laws in the country where, unfortunately, it is an outdated law. It was made in 1985. And it is with this primitive law, we are trying to hamper the drugs menace of this country. You must be also knowing the very vital fact that 20% of our state's revenue come from the alcohol we serve. If you go to Karnataka, if you go to Tamil Nadu, if you go to other parts of the state country, you won't find liquor very expensive. The manager of the Four Points Sheraton is on the dais, so he must be very well aware of the figures about this. But Kochi in the past, the growth Kochi have gained in the last many years. We know the Kochi metro rail is in place. We have the smart city coming up in Kakinad. We have the extension of the metro lines to the info park. All these figures and statistics show the infrastructural growth of the state, of a community. But I believe that with the growth of this, with the growth of the parameters, whatever the government says the parameters of the growth are, I believe that with the growth there is a huge rise or growth in the percentage of narcotic synthetic drugs which the youngsters use. And I'm it's quite alarming to say that there is no gender differences as well in this case. We always fight for gender rights, and my sisters are also very fast in this scenario. The city of Cochin is very well connected by water, by rail, by air. And our perception of drugs is basically marijuana, or the old school thoughts are basically what we called in our language called kanjava. But we have moved fast ahead of those times. And most modern synthetic drugs, including LSD and all the other drugs, are quite freely available here. And it's very easy to use, it's very easy to carry. And there are many advantages when the youngsters speak of that. They say that there are many advantages if you are drinking, if you have 2 packs of alcohol, if you drive, you've been caught by the police and you have all sorts of legal actions against you, but now you're free to carry, you can put it in a purse, nobody is going to notice, and the amount of the outcome or the net result is much better than the other products you use. So this is a quite alarming situation. When I was an MLA, I spoke in the assembly about the rave parties which happen in Cochin. And many of my friends warned me that, see, you're not understanding of what you speak. This is a huge mafia and you're going to be slaughtered for this. And when Mr. Ramesh Chennithila was the Home Minister of Kerala, it was then there were raids by the police department in many of the hotels, in the five-star hotels, and the yachts, which came in the news. A drug rave party which happened in our backwaters, and it was caught by our police department. So I don't think it is not just the laws which have to be in place. There are many different aspects. Actually, I didn't know that this was such a huge session, and there were many discussions by many different speakers across the globe of their best practices available of how this could be, how we can fight this menace. And we all know that Kerala has a law which the Honorable High Court of Kerala made a very special mention about the public smoking issue. And it was after the law which was passed or the verdict which came, I don't think it's not just the verdict. When public smoking was banned, now when we look at the figures and statistics, we can see that the amount of people using tobacco has literally gradually come down. It is not just that with the help of the court verdict, or it's not because of the huge fines they charge or because of the cases they will get into, but it was due to the continuous awareness programs which we had. Whenever we go to a movie hall, we can see before the movie starts, we can see a very, very famous, very important advertisement. Every buddy in this hall might be knowing that. Shwasagosham. So it's a very vibrant advertisement. So this has created a lot of awareness. As a people's representative, every new day is a learning experience for me. There are parents who come to me early in the morning and say that their school students, their children, are being arrested because till date they didn't know that they are a part of a chain of the drugs which have been sold in the city. They are being innocent carriers whose future have been spoiled because they are being continuously targeted by the mafia which operates in the college and school premises. So there is a huge kind of lobby which works, and unfortunately our parents who doesn't communicate with our children so much are not aware, and our parents have this very extreme, very rare kind of argument always defending their children and say that it's not them, it's their friends who have spoiled them. So I've been seeing this for many, many years now, and we see many families which have been broken. And I truly believe that the outcome of this campaign, the seminars, the talks which have happened in the last 2 days, there are very important people who work for this. There are many NGOs who work for this. And I'm very happy that the Asian Regional Forum Against Drugs, together with the other agencies, as mentioned, UNODC, the Fourth Wave, the campaign called Venda, are organizations who work for this. I'm very happy to be a part of this. I would like to understand the conclusions of these talks and the articulated versions of these, where I would also can contribute in the Indian Parliament as well, where your thoughts can be expressed in the lawmaking process as well. So this is also a learning experience for me. Thank you for inviting me. And I congratulate each and everyone for raising this very, very vibrant campaign and issue. And it's a huge platform. We have many distinguished guests from across the globe who come to our small city and briefed what is happening, the best maintained practices, well-maintained practices across the other countries as well. Thank you for inviting me, and Jai Hind.
Yeah, the problem indeed is very, very big. But as Mr. Hybridin has been telling me, there is cause for hope, and solutions are possible. And thank you for telling us that you will continue to journey together. You are interested to learn about the outcomes and that you would like to carry it forward. Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you, Mr. Hybridin. I go on to invite Mr. Dinesh Rai, the General Manager of 4 Point Sheraton, our host partner, to offer felicitation at this conference.
Respected people on the dais and everyone who have attended here, it is definitely an honor. I mean, of course, an honor. I probably wanted to actually share a small story as to how we really kind of got this event to happen at our hotel. This was just a casual evening, I guess. Joseph and Diana had come across to the hotel. That's when they just put a thought thing, we are planning to do this event in Kochi, which is good. So that's when this, this kind of a virus triggered in my head. I need to get this event up to my hotel because this is actually going to be an honor for this space. And believe me, it is. And after that, there was a great discussion that we had together, and that's when she mentioned to me, saying like, where it is. I mean, in India, like, we talk about Punjab being the highly effective space in terms of drugs, and where Kerala today is. So as I said, like, why not be partnering with this conference? So we went across doing everything possible to ensure that we have this event with us. Honestly, we did every bid. We went across. I said, like, what really is your entire budget? Just give us your budget and we'll work this all across in our format. So the intention, honestly, believe me, none of us are team members, had the intention of making money out of it. This was definitely for a cause. And 4 Point Sheraton is part of Marriott, as you all know. So Marriott works in something called a Marriott Business Council. So we work, we're in a forum collecting money and of course, like, distributing it to schools and doing some different activities. So we thought, like, this one scope is something that, like, we haven't kind of really looked at it, and I wanted to be kind of one of the pioneer of hotels to go across and show it to the team, saying, like, this as an initiative, we as 4 Point Sheraton also are fighting against drug abuse. So that was the whole intention. And I thank Project Venda for roping us in this. In fact, rather, like, to taking us along, or rather enjoying us, so that we enjoyed every journey with you. We enjoyed every discussion with you. And thank you, everyone from all 48 countries that have come over here. I've seen the dedication that has come. I've been part of big convention. Honestly, let me tell you one thing. I've handled convention which goes beyond about 3,000 people. But I haven't actually seen the dedication that everyone has come across. Everyone had their agenda coming over here. They had signed MOUs. They had discussion with different countries. This was a highly, very high networking cause. And I'm sure each one of you who stayed over here had made some purpose of coming over here. And once again, it is an opportunity for us, and thank you all for giving us this opportunity. And I hope, I trust my team members have really looked after you, and that's what they are known for and been taken care of. The food, the hospitality, and everything was what really you would looked for. Thank you. And I believe a lot of people had actually told me that, like, they couldn't get to see coaching very well because the whole session was pretty extensive. And I really hope that if you're staying back, so please make the use of this place. Kochi is a real God's own country, and believe me, there's a lot to see in this place, and our team will definitely help you with everything that you really want. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh Rai, for those words of warmth and joy. I want to say again, we really enjoyed your hospitality, and we were looked after very well. Thank you very much. Okay, now this is a brief time of youth speak. I already mentioned Project Venda conducted a SAFE Save Idea Note contest. And so many people participated in it. And 3 people have come to the forefront. And firstly, I call upon Mr. Abhimon Joseph from Oriental School of Hotel Management, Wayanad. Come and share your thoughts briefly. Come.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and the key peoples of Fourth Way Foundation and for the Project Venda. And I'm Abhimon Joseph from Oriental School of Hotel Management, Wayanad. And due to lack of time, I need to convey my ideas within 3 minutes. So I'm convincing my idea in 3 sentences. First one, role of education in empowering about the substance abuse in people. Like if someone is addicted, we can't force them. We can't force them to stop because it will lead to an intense use. So make them aware what are the after effects of substance abuse and let them stop from their own side, from the heart. That's the first point that I had come forward. And the second point is the bond with our family, role of family. So family plays a vital role in building the character of a student or a kid from the birth onwards. So keeping a good touch with a family, making a good bond with the family is very essential. And the idea which I think is that giving, for the pregnant women by the gynecology department, they will be giving a counseling that what food items they need to do and what all activities they need to do. From that, I would like to add on that, apart from that, we need to give a proper awareness to them that what should they do to stop their students from drug abuse. And the third idea which I had put forward is about role of school educational institutions in promoting the anti-drug campaigns. So in all the institutions, we are conducting anti-drug campaigns and all, and it will be conducted once in a year. Just once in a year, and after the fire is done, no more fire. So we need to make a separate squad for finding about the drugs and all in the colleges, and we need to give fuel. We need to give proper awareness, proper counseling and all continuously for for a small period of time, and we need to keep on fueling so that the fire will burn on to them. So that's all the 3 ideas which I had put forward to the Fourth Way Foundation and for the Project Venda, and nothing is late. We are having more time, and we are having the doors which are open for us to help you. And thank you so much once again for the Fourth Way Foundations and for the organizers of this program and 4 Points by Sheraton. And thank you so much for my college, Oriental School of Hotel Management, and all the faculties of my college. Thank you so much.
Education, family, and education institutions. Good, Abhiman Joseph, for giving these ideas. And I call upon Uma S. Nair from Government Law College, Thrissur.
I'll be taking 5 minutes. Please do bear with me. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, and all those who have kindly consented to preside over this event, good evening, one and all. It was during my term of internship with the Excise Department of Kerala, Excise Enforcement and Anti-Narcotics Special Squad, that I was introduced to the magnitude of substance abuse in India in general and in Kerala in particular. I was alarmed to know that in 2016, around 3,600 cases were registered under the NDPS Act, which is the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, 1985. And around 13,600 cases were registered under the Abkari Act, 1077. In 2017, the numbers almost doubled up, and the number of cases were around 5,944 under the NDPS Act alone. The numbers have been increasing alarmingly ever since. The global scenario isn't much different. With a world turnover of around $500 billion, drug trafficking is the 3rd largest business in the world. Looking at the global statistics, I'm reminded of the words of Greta Thunberg. I don't want you to be hopeful. I want you to panic. And also, I don't want this event and this movement to end with this closing ceremony. We need to take it up on a global platform and work upon it. And for that, I'll be suggesting 3S approach. The 3S being stop the trend, start the trail, and sustain the tribe. Stop the trend. According to the World Drug Report of 2018 by UNODC, it was suggested that early to late adolescence, which is a period from 14 to 17 years, is termed as a critical risk period. The peak use of drugs is between 18 to 25 years of age. So I urge each and every youngster listening to me, stop making drugs, alcohol, cannabis, and opioids the cool stuff. The peer pressure, the initial curiosity, and the craving to fall into the trendy tribe often proves a fatal choice. Many people who begin as one-time users often end up becoming addicts simply after the first use. So we need to stop the trend. The second point, start the trail. A number of anti-drug projects and campaigns which are started in India, including the Addiction Performance Project and the Addicted to Life Project, saw massive youth participation in the initial months, but after a while, they got sidelined and were called off abruptly. I want the youngsters to come forward and actively organize and participate in events which are run as a trail and not just ended in a few months. So we need to start the trail. The third one and the final one is sustain the tribe. I'll be taking 2 more minutes. Sustain the tribe. According to the International Human and Miraculous Evaluation and the World Health Organization reports, it has been stated that around 164 million people in the world are suffering from some or the other form of drug or alcohol-related abuse and disorder. Currently, today, around 35 million people in this world are suffering from a drug disorder. So we as youngsters need to come forward and provide proper medical care and assistance to the suffering tribe. Sustaining life through proper medical care and assistance is also a part towards making the world safe. Finally, I want to leave you with a message which I want each and every one of you to take with home. That is, stop the trend, start the trail, and sustain the tribe to make the world safe, to make it thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nair. I call upon Majid P. from MES Arts College, Perinthal-Manna.
Respected dignitaries on end of the dais, the organizers, and my beloved friends from all across the globe. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for having this event and letting us participate in this event. It has been an honor for us to get many knowledges from most eminent persons from all across the globe. Now I am addressing the youth who have been selected from 80 colleges from Kerala. What we have to do, what we can do. It was the duty of the organizers to empower us. And we have been empowered, and we have to keep it continuing. We must make our participation, as Mr. Billy earlier said, we must make our participation meaningful. It should not be wasted. There are many students in Kerala who couldn't participate in this event. We got the golden opportunity to participate here. So we should make it meaningful and keep on saving the country and our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Majid. We are coming to the last part of this valedictory function, and I invite Mr. C.C. Joseph to offer the vote of thanks.
Good evening. Before the high tea, okay, the high tea is getting ready, and I'm told the hotel has a surprise for you before we close, so that surprise is also getting ready. My job is to express a few words of gratitude. The number of people who are behind the project is large, so it will take 3 days to thank all of them.
So I'll just group them and maybe get out before the high tea is served. First of all, High Eden sir, thank you for honoring us and coming here and giving us the valedictory address. One personal experience I had with him when I called him and said, I want to meet you. He allowed me to meet him on a Sunday morning early at 8 a.m. When half of the world is sleeping. He said, come, I will be ready, let's meet. And when I met him, he agreed to come for the conference. So thank you, sir, for your support and all the help that you have given us. And I request Mr. Billy to hand over a small token of gesture on behalf of Project Venda to High Eden, please. Secondly, Mr. Dinesh Rai, the GM of the hotel. I don't know if you remember the first day when Mr. Shibulal said Project Venda, in a way, he got caught onto the idea because he heard it in an airport. And at Project Venda, we say that a lot can happen at the airport, When with the discussion, somehow we traveling and many things didn't work out. We met a couple of them at the airport. And then from there, the GM just took over the whole thing into his hands. And, Mr. Dinesh, thank you for all the support, all the encouragement. And, he rightly said, he didn't put up a price. He said, what's your budget? We will work in that. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Dinesh, for all the support and encouragement. And a special mention to Cliffy for all the support, and Swaroop and the whole team. And I request Mr. Espion to hand over a small token of gratitude to Mr. Dinesh Rai, please. The next important person is Mr. Anil Kumar from the Federal Bank. Like we explained on the first day how we got stuck and the Federal Bank came in and they helped us. So, Mr. Anil Kumar, on behalf of all of us, please carry this message of gratitude to the whole of Federal Bank, especially the board, and thank them on our behalf and thank them on behalf of all the 28 countries. And I request the board member of Project Venda, Dr. Edward, to hand over a small token of appreciation to Mr. Anil Kumar, please. And next person who has been keenly following us, I got a message from the Raj Bhavan yesterday saying, hope the conference is going on well and the Governor is waiting for your recommendation. So I would like to thank His Excellency, the Governor of Kerala, Sri Arif Muhammad Khan, for taking time, coming over here and inaugurating the conference and breaking all protocol and walking among you. His security was also surprised, what's happening over here. So thank you, sir, and we believe our collaboration will go a long way. Also want to thank the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment for spending time, sending their officials and meeting with us, the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of External Affairs for all the necessary clearances needed for the conference, the Directorate of Excise, Government of Kerala, and very importantly, the two partners of this conference, WFAD and UNODC. So Espion, thank you so much. I don't have words to express my gratitude. And Billy from UNODC Vienna, thank you so much for coming all the way and helping. And Mr. Maju is there. Can you just raise your hand or stand up, Maju? He's from UNODC Asia office. So you met Sergey, but just convey our thanks to all the people in the office. I'd like to thank all the speakers. If I name them, you know how long it will take, but it was a joy to listen to so many of them. And our idea was very simple. The amount of work people have done is immense, and we cannot contain that in a short span of time. But we want to make an advertisement saying, so much work is done, please go and meet them. Our idea was not that all of them share everything here. It will not happen. Our idea is to put an advertisement together for you so you can meet them and discover more and more and talk to them. And we believe the collaborations will not end here, or the discussions will not end here. So thank you, all the speakers. And very importantly, I just want you to just reach out your hands, please. Can you do that? All of you, reach out your hands. Okay. Just take it up, bend your hand, and pat yourself and say, well done, because there's no one else who will appreciate you. One reason we wanted this conference to happen in a venue like this is because, many of us are tired of doing a lot of things. At least the 3 days that we are here, we need to get a good sleep and we need comfort, and that is why we wanted to give you the best. Okay, within our limitations, but give you the best that we can. Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring us with your presence, and thank you for all the beautiful things that you have done. And I don't know if it was mentioned, but the pens that you have got, okay, has got seeds at the end, okay? So when you finish using the pen, you can just break the one end and just put the seed somewhere, and maybe you will have a plant from India in your country, okay? So carry forward that small token from us. And finally, if I don't say this, it will be injustice on my part, is to Team Venda. Lot of work. Many of them have not slept for the last 1 week. Okay, picking some of you, arranging a lot of things. All the work that you have seen, other than just the photography and the videography, is done in-house. Okay, all the work has been done in-house, and that is why we have been able to do this conference at 1/4 of the price that you would otherwise host a conference. So my thanks to all my team members, all here, all behind. And I want to name one person especially, Mr. Johnson at Eramulla, for all the effort and time. And you know, he spent a lot of time. He is in Trivandrum. He came to the office a couple of times, got us the right entries that was needed. So thank you, sir, for all the support and help that you have given us. And one thing we can promise as Project Venda is, Mr. Hybeeden asked us for a proposal, so we will give a proposal to him, which will be presented in the Parliament of India. And the governor has also asked us for our recommendation, which we will submit to him. And at least there will be a lot of things and a lot of discussions happening around this topic in India, and I hope in your countries also. And we hope that we have been able to serve you in the little time that we met, and this acquaintance that we have started, let us carry this forward. And above all, let's make this place or the world a little better place by doing the small things that we have done. And I end with what I said this afternoon. We have not invented the wheel, but we surely help it to move. So let's move and make this a great move all around the world. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you once again. Would once again like to thank each and every one of you for being part of this conference. It's a great thing for us as the Sheraton to be part of this event. It brings great pride to be part of a movement that is as big as what it is. We actually wanted to say thank you to the organizers, for each and every one who are here for this event, for having us part of this event. And we've just got a small cake which we want to cut, just in our little way of saying thank you to each and every one of you. Yeah. Thank you, please. I'd like to invite the dignitaries.
Don't worry, your cake will wait outside, okay? So have fun and let the journey continue. God bless. Thank you for all the support. Thank you.